Good morning. It's Lisa with Lisahealyourself, and today we are going to talk about the law of assumption, which was brought into the world by Neville Goddard. And if you haven't watched or read any of his lectures, you should do that. I was obsessed with them a few years back. And so I want to talk about the law of assumption, all things law of assumption, and how this actually, what it is and how it actually works. So the first thing to understand is that life is a mirror. It's a reflection of your consciousness, of your conscious state. Now we have our conscious mind and we have our subconscious mind. It's a reflection, it's a mirror of that. And often we're trying to think or manifest something into existence in the conscious, but we have a whole subconscious world that says otherwise. So it is all of consciousness, including our conscious awareness and our subconscious awareness. It's all of consciousness reflected as a mirror. So what does that mean? It's like consciousness is everything. Okay? Everything, and it's you. It's you and how you perceive everything. Because if you weren't here to look at everything in this world, it wouldn't exist. So consciousness is perceived through you. So therefore, what we choose to look at and what we choose to think and what we choose to believe and how we choose to perceive something becomes our consciousness, becomes the consciousness of everything. It's like we are source. Source is reflecting through us. God reflects through us. We're the consciousness. We are the awareness. We give perception and meaning to everything that's real and tangible in this 3D world reality that we live in. So therefore, if we're the only thing, our consciousness is the world, is life, is God, is source, whatever, it's coming from us. If we can perceive it, we can have it. If it's a possibility in this world, then we can have it too. Because we can put our focus and our consciousness on that. And when we do, that has to become our reality, because consciousness is like reality is a reflection of, and it's a mirror of our total consciousness. So that means whatever is happening right now is happening because of your consciousness from the past. It's all from the past. Whatever you perceived, believed, thought into existence, your stories, everything that you are experiencing right now is coming from the past. So everything that we can have in the future comes from our moments right now that we build, right? And we can drop the past quickly or instantly, because one of the things I've realized over time, and one of the best lessons I ever learned, was that how fast you heal is how fast you can accept the rate of change in your life that it's going to take to heal. Because healing means changing. It means thinking different things, deciding different things, becoming different things, and sometimes it means changing everything. So the rate of change which you can accept into your life is the rate at which you can heal. And so have you ever wondered why some people can have these instant healings? Some people heal within a couple of weeks, and sometimes it takes years for people to heal. This is because they cannot accept a fast rate of change, because not only does healing, which is what we want, we need to change, and we're excited to change because we want to heal, but it's all the changes that come along with that. Now you have to get out and go back to work. Now you have to have the responsibility. Now you have to be able to do this, X, Y, and Z. Now you don't get people's attention or pity or whatever it is. Okay, so there's a myriad, there's lists and lists and lists and lists of why you're actually in the situation that you're in. And changing means changing all of it. The rate at which you can become a new person is the speed at which you're gonna heal. I really believe that. And a lot of us have to accept change into our life slowly. because we've built all these beliefs in our history. We've built all these patterns and beliefs, and some of them we hate and some of them we like, though, that it makes us feel safe and comfortable to have these beliefs and these patterns and limitations in our life. And some of these things that we've developed give us a sense of safety and attract people to us in various ways and help us have relationships and all kinds of things. And it's scary to step out into the unknown and change, because if you change quickly, you may disrupt everything. So you may heal, but you may lose certain people in your life. You may have to let go of things that you're holding tight to. Everything will change, and that feels very unstable. That feels very unsafe. And so we resist big changes. We resist change. We only want the part of the change, which is the good part, the healing, and we don't want the other part, which is stepping out into the unknown and becoming super vulnerable and changing our personality and changing what we do with our time in the day and changing what we think and changing who we are, right? So I really believe that. Okay, let's get back to the law of assumption. So the law of assumption, and the reason why I think it all comes down to this for healing, is because every technique that sort of is saying different things, like if you look at the TMS model of healing, which is tension myoneural syndrome, and basically you need to believe that you're healed, that you can do the things that you didn't think that you could do, that you can, go out and live your life and just ignore the pain, and all of a sudden, right, you're healed. And we categorize it into this like TMS. Or we look at something like brain retraining, where we're just like visualizing all day, visualizing our future, how we want to feel, and then people are healing, right? But it's all the same thing, and it doesn't actually happen until you use this law. And a lot of people are using this law without even realizing that they're using it. They assume that they are healed. They assume that they can heal and that they will heal. And when they assume that, when they truly believe it, their doubts are erased. And so when your doubts are erased, you no longer live in the same perception of reality, in the same consciousness that you are right now. You start to trust yourself and your body, and you start to venture out into the world and act and live as if. Not in spite of, but as if. Like, I know I will heal. I know I'm healed. It's coming to me. I am healed. I'm okay now. I'm done with this. I'm moving on. I believe it. I don't have any doubts anymore. I've seen the evidence and I know it can work for me, and I'm just going to live my life. And when you live your life like you assume you're healed, and you start to do all the things that an actual healed person would do, like, what is it? Who would I become? Who is the healed version of myself? You have to ask yourself, what does she do during the day? Does she do all these healing techniques during the day? Maybe. Maybe she exercises and maybe she eats healthy, but does she focus all her energy on healing techniques, or does she live her life? What is the life of the healed you? Does that life look like traveling all over the world? Does it look like staying home still and being a homemaker? Does it look like having a certain career? Does it look like having friends and social gatherings and entertaining? Does it look like going out and having date nights? Does it look like being happy? Does it look like laughing with your children, engaging, going, spending your time gardening or doing certain hobbies? What does the healed version of you, what does this person do with their time? If you could imagine your dream life, and not just the part of the dream life when you're on vacation, but the whole thing, the day-to-day. What does the day-to-day look like of the healthy version of you? Maybe it's the exact same thing. Maybe you would do the exact same thing, only you do it feeling great. you do it with a new perspective. You do it with a new attitude. You do it without thinking of healing whatsoever, because you are healed. And someone who is healed doesn't obsess about healing all day and doesn't scan their body symptoms all day. So when people actually heal, it's because they assume they are going to heal, or they are already healed, and they assume that life. They imagine what the healed version of them looks like, and they start to live into it. Live not in spite of it, like, and just drag around this pain all day and with the same consciousness, but they bring a new consciousness. They bring a new perception. They bring a new way to interpret and be in the world, a new personality, a new identity. They bring this with them, and they say, I can exercise, I can eat these foods, I can socialize, I can go here and there, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can be the person. And they build the life that they want, and they bring a new personality or identity, a new thought process with them. And when they do that, their consciousness, if it's truly in the healed state, if it's truly in, and they believe, like, I can now do this and I'm going to do this, then reality will ultimately reflect that. Because remember, reality, the 3D reality world that we live in, and what is already manifested, is what is a mirror of our conscious awareness, is a mirror of our consciousness that makes up our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our beliefs, our identity, our personality, all of it. And so when we shift and we create a new identity, we create a new conscious awareness of who and what we are and what we want, and we believe that we can have it, and we just start to live it. When we assume that it is done, it is ours, we are that thing, and we just believe it, then we have to create it. It has to come, and it may lag behind, but when you get caught up in the oh no, you're bringing the wrong consciousness to it. So it's that dance between the old story, the old looking and scanning and not trusting and believing, to the new reality, which is, I believe, I am healed, this is my new identity, this is my new life, this is what I think, this is what I believe, I am healed. And it's the dance between those two, and that's kind of what happens with this good day, bad day, good day, bad day. We believe it, we have a great day, we sense symptoms, and we get into the old patterns and beliefs and consciousness, and before we know it, we snowball that reality back into existence, and we're having a bad day. So also, one of the biggest parts of the law of assumption is that you take back your power. And so I did a lot of videos over the last years about taking back your power. And I think, taking back my power was a huge part of my healing, because when you realize, and I didn't really assume and tie it together like this is law of assumption, but when you assume that you have the power to create something, and you assume what you want to be true, you can create what you want. You are the powerful person in your life. And when you believe it and believe in yourself, it comes true. So realizing and understanding and remembering that you are the creator, you have the power. You are the power, you are powerful. And what you think about, what you look at, what you assume to be true about yourself, you manifest into reality. So if you are assuming, oh, this is terrible, and this is going to take a long time, and healing takes such a long time, and I don't know how to do it, and I don't understand it, and I can't fix it, and why can't I? You are assuming the exact thing that you don't want. You have to assume healing is easy. Healing can happen fast. For me, I am the proof of it. I can have it. I do have it sometimes, some moments, whatever. I can manifest it. I'm in control. I can take back my power. I can heal myself. Realizing that you are the healer, taking back your power, right? Not giving your power to other people. You are the healer. You are the creator. You are the manifester, right? So what you assume about how healing works, about how you work, about life, about yourself, what you assume, you are actually manifesting. So you need to assume something different. You need to assume I am healed. I am. Those are what those statements come in, right? And they're so far, when they feel so out of alignment with, like, when you say I am healthy and you just can't believe it, it's because you're so far out of alignment from actually believing or assuming that. And that just shows you how far you have to go until you're healed, until you can at least believe this statement, I am healed. I am healing. I am 100% healed. I am able to heal. I am, and not even anything about healing. Like, I am happy. I have great relationships. I enjoy my life. I feel good in my body. If you can't resonate with any of those statements, it's because you're in resistance. It's because you're so far away from being able to assume that. So you have to say, how could I assume that? What would the healed version of me have to do through the day? What would they want to do? What would I do? What would I spend my time doing? Would I create a course or create an online business? Would I go back to work? Would I travel? Like, what would I do? And no matter how difficult it is, you have to assume that you can do that now and start living into your healed life, living into it, because you want to prove to yourself. It's a matter of consciousness, right? So you're trying to prove to yourself, I can do these. And sometimes we need to do it in bite-sized pieces. Like, I can walk, I can exercise, I can socialize. And you start to create these little milestones for yourself. And suddenly you can go forward. And then the statement, I am healed, or I am healthy, or I feel good in my body, becomes, you're closer to it. You can see that you're closer to being able to believe that. So you can choose to instantly believe that and change your entire identity. Remember, the rate at which you heal is the rate at which you can change, right? So can you change full on? Can you have an instantaneous healing? It means you have to change everything you think and believe, and you have to be able to believe that sentence, I am healed, and then live the life in accordance with the person who is healed. If you can't, you're going to be doing this at a slow pace, easing yourself into believing that until you get closer and closer and closer. Like, I'm 50% healed, I'm 60% healed, I'm 70% healed. I feel, right? We're inching towards, I'm healed. And we do it as we start to create the life and as we live into it and we see the proof, then we're able to assume more. But you don't have to wait for the proof. You can just assume it and start to live it. You can just assume it and start to believe it. You can assume it and start to visualize it. You can assume it and start to identify with it. And change your perception, change your reality, and assume what you want. Okay, just moved out of the way of the wind because that was really windy, I'm sure, wrecking the video. But all of this law of assumption, all of these tools that we use to heal ourselves, whether it's manifestation or whether it's TMS healing or whether it's brain retraining or whether it's your diet or your food or your exercise program or your belief or whether it's journaling, whatever technique it is, right? It's all inching you closer to believing in yourself, to believing you are worthy, to believing you're worthy of having the life that you deserve, that you are deserving, that you are worthy, that you're worth it, that you have the power, that you can have it, that it is yours, to believing that you are loved, you are everything, you have your voice, you can use it, you are powerful, you're worth it, you are worthy, you're deserving, and you are infinitely loved. And it's inching you closer. All of these techniques, all of this movement towards healing, this path, this healing journey path, the whole thing is inching you closer and closer until you finally believe that you are worthy and deserving and loved and powerful enough to have it now. And then once you believe it, once your consciousness is in that state, living in that state, your body will reflect what your consciousness is shining its flashlight on, right? In a dark room, you can shine your consciousness on any object in the room. What you choose to shine your flashlight on is your perception of consciousness. It is what you believe is the only thing in the room. When you believe that you are deserving, you are worthy, you are powerful, you are loved, you are healed. When you believe it, it will come. And so the work, often with a lot of practices, is in the belief, especially if you're looking at TMS. The belief is everything. Why? Because you assume. When you believe, you assume, you already are healed. You already are what you want. You have what you want. You are content. You are at peace. You are living and thriving, using your voice, confident, comfortable in your body, happy, thriving. When you see that as your reality, then it comes to you. So that's what all of these practices do. They inch us closer to our own power, close as a creator. As the creator of our life, they inch us closer to belief that we are worthy of having everything that we want, and the rate of change that you can accept in your life, full change, because you can't go back. If you play this back and forth, one toe in, one toe out, this is how we have good day, bad day, right? We need to fully jump in with both feet to our new belief, our new identity, our new life. And when we can do that fully, and sometimes we inch our way towards it, that's what it becomes. So everything that exists is happening in the now, right? The past doesn't exist, the future doesn't exist. We can future visualization to help us improve our now, right? To think our now and think our future into existence. We can actually change past memories and change our past with our thoughts. But what happens, and the reality that's reflected to us, is happening in the now. What do we choose now? What do we choose now? What body, what image, what perception, what assumption are we choosing now? Now. It's all happening in the now. So at every moment, you have to choose it. And this is hard if you have patterns. If you have been sick for a long time and you already assume that you're going to wake up feeling bad, or that you have these things and that they're very hard to change, you have to totally flip that on its head. And you have to assume now that, that's all happened because it's in the past, and you can change the past by choosing a new now. You can choose it now, and you can choose it now, and you can choose it now, that you can instantaneously choose. And even if it doesn't happen, it's because you know that you're not fully 100% committed yet, but that you continue to choose it, choose the life, choose your reality, choose your assumptions of that you are healed, and that your body feels good, and that you can do all these things that you didn't think you could. You have to continue to choose the healed version of you over and over and over, instead of the sick version of you, instead of the frustrated version of you, instead of the helpless version or hopeless version of you. And I'm not saying that you have to be perfect at this in every second and every choice, because reality, there's lots of things going on in your mind that don't manifest, and that's because it's not all these random thoughts that come into existence. It's what we have to tip the scales. It's what's mostly going on in our consciousness. So if we can tip the scales into we're mostly believing and resonating at the level and living at the level that we are healed, you are healed. You can change your body now, every second in the now. So every time it's hard in the now, if you revert back to falling to pieces, fresh, like falling down, that's why they say the work is in the now. Because when symptoms come up, when they overpower you, if you choose a new reaction, if you choose to ignore them, if you choose to not believe them, if you choose to continue to identify with the healed person, if you choose to continue to live your life, right, rather than fall apart, rather than cry, rather than get helpless, rather than not believe it, rather than sink down into the abyss, then we change, right? right? We change our reality. So the work is in the moment of that reaction and the response. How do we react every time? We have a choice to fall into our old patterns and old beliefs, or do we choose the new healed version of ourselves? Do we choose how the new healed person would respond? How the person who, if they fully believed that this would work for them and they could heal, what would they do? And so that's what we need to do. And it doesn't need to be perfect. The scales need to tip in that direction. And that's how you can start to turn the corner, so to speak. Right? Tip the scales, we turn a corner. And then we start to see proof. And once you start to see proof, things really start to snowball. Because now you really believe it. You resonate. You're not just believing it in theory, but you're believing it from like the proof. But believe me, the proof is there. You have to walk your way into the proof. You have to assume that you are the proof, that the proof is you, that you can have everything that you want, that you are healed, that you are healthy. And that's how if we do that enough, we turn a corner. And when we turn a corner and we start to see results, we start to believe it even more. And when we keep going, we inch our way at the rate of change that we can accept into our life towards full 100% healing. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope you understand a little bit more about the law of assumption, how it works, why it works, and that you are all that is. You are the consciousness, and it is simply reflecting. It's a mirror. Reality is a mirror of your conscious awareness, your conscious beliefs, your conscious behaviors, perceptions, personalities, identities, both conscious and unconscious. And so we must continue to go in the direction of the healed version of yourself and believe it. You are worth it. You are loved. You are worthy, and you can have it now. And so you don't need to try to fix this or solve this or try too hard, because if you are trying to fix it and solve it, you're focused on the problem. The now means that you can have this now. You never solve a problem. You're not going to fix this. You're going to move into a new reality, move into a new identity, move into a new assumption where it's already fixed, where the problem doesn't exist. So you can have it now, and you don't need to fix it. You don't need to solve it. You literally can't. What you need to do is move into the reality where you believe that the problem no longer exists. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I will see you in the next one.